Hi, today I'm going to show you an unboxing of the Mystical Wisdom card deck written by Gaye Guthrie with art by Josephine Wall. As you can see, this is a super colorful deck. Josephine Wall's artwork is just very bright, very vibrant, and beautiful collage work, so we'll get into that. The box is pretty hard, sturdy. It's not a flimsy tuck box or anything. This is a nice hard box. And we'll go ahead and open it up. So the first thing you see is the guidebook. I definitely like doing my own interpretations with cards, but it's nice to have a guidebook, especially when you're dealing with oracle decks, because tarot decks are pretty standard. The Fool card means what the Fool card means. But when you're working with an oracle deck, it's going to mean whatever the author intends for it to mean, in the sense that they've created these cards themselves. And so it's nice to have some kind of introduction to that and what they mean from it, which then you can incorporate into your own interpretations. So this is a nice hardcover guidebook. And you can see there's a little bit of an introduction. But what's nice about it is you can see here each card gets its own page. And so it's great because you can actually see a little bit more of the artwork than you see on the card, because the cards are vertically oriented. But you get the meaning of the card, and then you get a mantra, which is nice. So as you're going through and you find your meaning and you get your message for the card, you actually get a mantra for each one to incorporate as you go throughout your day. The cards are listed in here in alphabetical order, which is pretty handy. And not a lot of fluff, just one page for each card, which is sometimes a good thing. Sometimes these guidebooks can get really intense with all kinds of information to where it's almost overwhelming. So this kind of keeps it simple. You also get some examples of card spreads that you can use, which of course you can use your own spreads as well. These are just ones that they recommend. So there's our guidebook. Now we'll get into the cards. And I have used this deck, so these are not in order, but this will give you a chance to kind of see what the artwork looks like. So first off, these are kind of bigger cards. Oracle cards tend to be a little bigger than tarot cards anyway. Sometimes they can be a little awkward to shuffle for that reason. These ones are not too bad. For me, when I'm shuffling like this is about the limit I can grab with these fingers. So it's still comfortable to use, but any bigger and it would be uncomfortable. You can see the cards have a pretty shiny purple edge to them. And now you can start seeing the artwork. So the nice thing about these cards is they have the title right on there and then basically a key phrase. So of course this is the title you look up in the guidebook, but these phrases are nice because it's just kind of a summary of what the card means. So if you're doing a spread for, yourself or for a friend, and you've got 4 of them laid out, you can at a glance get that meaning right away from the cards. But I'll just kind of show you some of these here. Just vibrant artwork. And Gaye Guthrie and Josephine Wall have teamed up on quite a few decks, and I try to carry them in my shop when I can keep them in stock. They are just very, very vibrant. And what's cool, like this one, knowledge, seek knowledge, and you can see she's got the book, but what's nice is the visual cues within the card also help you interpret the meaning. So you can just see different types of stories here illustrated, which is something that's nice. When you're doing interpretations, it's good to know what the cards mean, but you may key into a specific aspect of a card when doing the reading. For example, this is illusion. This is obviously the key part, her and the reflection in the mirror behind her and that illusion. But then you also have this scene going on here with a police officer, an older woman, a young child. And it could be that when you're using this card in a reading, this is the key part. So just kind of whatever pops out with you, trusting your intuition is great. And so I kind of like oracle cards that have a variety of things to look at in the image because it gives you different things to key in on. This is another fun one, you know, vacation. Obviously, take time for relaxation and adventure. That's your basic meaning. But you can just see, you know, it looks like a young girl on a magic carpet. You know, this could also imply, you know, going on a new journey, taking rest and discovering a new path, all kinds of things. And, you know, the birds and everything, it really implies kind of like a magical experience. This is another good one, opportunity knocks, go for it. And you can see them looking at these bubbles or like crystal balls, and you can just see all these little images of different things going on in each of these bubbles, kind of like imagine the possibilities, all the different things you can do. Just what I would consider much deeper artwork. There's some, you know, oracle cards, and like I say, I have tons of them, so I'm not knocking any art style by any means, but there's some that are very simple, you know, almost bordering on minimalist, and those can be very good, but I do tend to prefer the ones that are maybe a little busier, a little more complicated. Whoops, as I knock them out of order. A little more complicated, just because it gives you more to work with. This is just a great image. I love the pink dress. I'm a sucker for all things pink. And this is a great image too. Flying fish and kind of surfing a wave, go with the flow, a beautiful full moon. And again, you know, this is what I'm talking about. You could be using this card in a reading and you get the go with the flow image, and you may key into this full moon. Maybe the full moon has something to do with timing. Maybe it has something to do with, you know, cycles ending, that kind of thing. And so all of these little details can really give your intuition an opportunity to pop up and give you some more insight than just the straight meaning of the card. And there's our last one. So beautiful artwork in this deck. And I definitely would recommend this deck for anyone who, first of all, likes vibrant artwork and likes busy oracle cards. Also, this is a great one for beginners. Like I mentioned, that guidebook has a lot of just great information in it. It's easy to learn, easy to work with, good artwork to work with your intuition. And if you're interested, this deck is available at my shop, the Healing Winds Emporium. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll be making more of these of my different decks.